I think they're saying, you know what? We're taking over the PlayStation, and we might even take over Switch. And you guys just have to deal with it, right? So the games you're going to buy on your PlayStation are Xbox games. You're Xbox gamers. That PlayStation is an Xbox. Have fun with that. You can pound your chest all day by saying, I paid $70. Good for you. Good for you. I'll just play in my nice little, $120 a year Game Pass Ultimate. I'm happy to pay the $120 and get all those games. You want to pay more? I'm happy you want to pay more. That's great. More games for me. You pay, I play. I love it. This is great. And I think that's what Xbox's strategy is. Everybody's dooming and glooming. We have no more exclusives. No. You don't understand. They're going to take over everybody else's platform.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and yes, today we got your next dose of the salty batch files, and boy, they're trying to hype up the train of new hardware, of new beginnings, of all that stuff in regards to Xbox. Yes, the shills are at it again, the frauds are at it again, and nonetheless, we have the examples yet again. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is get right to it here, of course. The first example being from none other than Cold Eastwood himself. He's very upset at me, especially as of late, and the, protagonist of his story is just ignore folks like myself because, well, these reasons here, because they're frauds and shills. Let's start because the hyping of the next gen for Xbox has officially begun, or at least as long as Colt's been doing it here recently. So let's show up these examples. Do we see a running theme here? First example, Xbox, this is game-changing, right? So Xbox officially game-changing next-gen console partnership, PC console hybrid plans. So it's time to get very hyped for this, guys. Very hyped for this PC hybrid type of console because these aren't already out. I mean, we don't have a Steam Deck, ROG Ally, the Lenovo, all this stuff. So let's just slap that Xbox sticker right on this piece of hardware and call it a day, guys. This is gonna save Xbox. They're really banking, the other side of this coin is they're really banking that you can play PlayStation first-party games on it, which, to be fair, at this point in time, isn't said one way or the other. It is leaning like a not happening kind of scenario if the Xbox logo is on there and considered an Xbox. But if it's just a partnership, who knows? It's really interesting to see what happens here. But again, we're hyping up stuff that's essentially already out. You can play your first-party PlayStation games on a Steam Deck that is compatible, on a ROG Ally, on a Lenovo, on a laptop, on a PC. I don't understand what's game-changing about this. We'll have to see. But he's not done as we continue on. Again, another video, and so soon, revealed game-changing next-generation Xbox hybrid PC console details starting in 2027. So we're supposedly supposed to get a handheld, possibly 2026, I guess, right? If not this year, I don't know. It's hard to keep track because one fanboy saying one thing, another shill saying another. But again, officially, supposedly, again, word of mouth from Cold Eastwood, so we know how true this is, plus many others, that the actual next-gen console will be out in 2027. Odds are a new PlayStation generation will be out a year later, so again, making this really kind of redundant, right? But as we continue on, we're not done with them. As you can see, revealed next Xbox in 2026 changes everything. Xbox Universal Dashboard. A Universal Dashboard, again, what does this do? What does this do to the items that are already out? Why do we need a new hardware? Am I missing something, guys? Am I missing something that this hybrid PC console is doing that you can't do with the Steam Deck that you plug into your TV and dock it if you wanted to? And same with the Lenovo and all the stuff, right? On and on and on. What are we trying to hype here? I'm so confused. And then we have a final one from them just recently. I'm sure there'll be 20 more by the time this video even airs. But revealed Xbox, this changes everything. Next Xbox PC hybrid consoles coming 2026. Xbox Series X too. Look, I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. I really don't. Like I said, the overhype of this only to let the fans and followers down, not actually talking about anything of substance here. What is the difference? It's only speculation at this point. You're overhyping. We've done this since the Xbox One generation when it was a letdown with the DRMs, with the Kinect being attached to every console out there, with this, that, and the other. I mean, gosh, what are we doing here? So it's been since that generation to just wait till E3 memes, right? Your Xbox is the next water cooler. And then they just had to damage control. From that point on, it was nothing but damage controlling. And here we are again, full circle. Guys, this generation is pretty much a bust. It's a bust, but just wait. Just wait, and you'll see more. Now, I know folks are going to come out, well, look at what you do, and they'll show my video examples of what we're doing now. Welcome, first of all, welcome to a segment called the Salty Batch Files. That's what this is. We're not doctoring photos. We're not doctoring posts. This is legit stuff people are putting out there. This is a segment requested by the community that I put together, and we have fun, and we break this apart. We have some fun with it. We show the delusion. This is welcome to a segment, not overhyping. I'm not leading people astray. Know the difference between your fraud cult leaders and people that actually, like myself, want to put the truth out there. But I just kind of wanted to put that out there because we have a lot of those comparisons as of late, and it's like, do we not understand what a segment is? Do we not understand? Anyways, let's move on from that travesty there and get over to Jez here because we're still on that hardware campaign here. Jez stating, exclusive, Xbox plans a partner handheld for this year with full next-gen consoles in 2027. He has the details there. On and on. But just below there, right? Below that hype train, we have the general MLD post. 2027 feels too late. It's funny because he's already come back around. At the time of this here, he's already come back around and he's defending Xbox, right? Trying to make it a good thing. It makes sense. Game Pass is still better than PS Plus, all this stuff. It's just like any way to find a win, right? It's really pathetic. I mean, it's just another tier of patheticness. He'll never admit that Xbox lost and that he's wrong or anything like that. But as he continues, 2026 fall with Gears, E-Day, Horizon 6, Halo 1 remake, next gen only COD would sell itself. Now, again, it would, General MLD. But even so, if that was to just turn around right now, Phil Spencer and company drops their plans to be a third-party full-on publisher. Yes, a full-on third-party publisher. I'm saying it right now. That's what they are. At this point, since that, again, the dam broke. Forza, not 6, the previous, is out on competitive platforms like the PlayStation 5. Coming out very soon now. The dam's been broken. It's over. There's no course direction or redirection, right? It is what it is. So even if they stopped and dropped it and this happened, it's not enough to get anybody to change and make those sales happen for the hardware and for them to pull back and all this and that and the other. It's not happening. Game Pass is already set in motion. They have goals to make. They have subs to make. It's still not going to probably happen, but they have subs and goals to make. And part of making that money back and part of being in fruition is making sales and software sales. That means putting those on competing platforms. It's done. Your scenario, these make-believe scenarios, if they did this, that, and the other right now, it's done. It's done. It really is. Unless a miracle were to happen and change, unbeknownst to me, it's done. Right? It's done. But let's keep going here. We're not done with the hardware hype train, folks. We then have Ryan McCaffrey, of course, chiming in. He's finally got that. He's got the oomph back, right? He's back on it. So here he is. Huge scoop by Jez Corden on Project Keenan. I'm waiting for Project Kel, aka the next-gen Xbox hardware family. He specifically mentions a high-end Series X successor, but not one for the Series S. So it's like they kind of learn their lesson there a little bit, maybe, huh? I wonder if my theory that the handheld Xbox fills that role will prove correct. Read it. So he's thinking that the handheld's going to be the Series S, and then compatibility with the other hardware. Again, kind of seems redundant, but we're not done, as you could see here on that post. Goal rival, I think your theory is probably correct. If you're going to have a lower tier, making it a handheld is perfect. So we'll see what happens with that ultimately. But again, I still feel it's redundant. We'll have to see what features it has, how the OS is, how seamless things are. They really have to hit a home run here in order for this to work and differentiate itself. Otherwise, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's redundant. What's the point, right? Something's going to suffer here. And more than likely, it's the Xbox side of things. People have more trust in the Steam-related materials and hardware than they do Xbox. But as we continue here from Ryan, like he said, it would get me to buy 2 Xboxes instead of 1. Not 1, but 2, because he's got to make up that sales. He's got to make sure that he's doing his part to make sure Xbox is successful, right? So it'd be a heck of a great way to double dip with your core user base. So yeah, he's counting that handheld and the Xbox, right? The next generation Xbox. It'd be really interesting to see how that would work. To see if they could pull something off that means something. Like I said, I'm racking my brain even before this video. How would it make sense to make this work? Definitely let me know down in the comments on what you think could work. Is it a moot cause? I just feel like it's a moot cause. I hope they prove me wrong on that and that they find a way to make that successful. And I'll get to that. But, you know, Ryan McCaffrey kind of playing that saving grace there, right? He'll buy 2. He'll make sure he does his part. He's doing his part. I ain't doing effing shit. Anyways, let's move on from that. Tom Warren here, of course, reporting on it as well. I've seen the report about Microsoft's Project Keenan, and just to be clear, there is no first-party Xbox handheld. Again, that's the other part of this, right? This is not a first-party deal. It's a partner. It's a third-party deal, right? Arriving in 2025, Keenan is part of PC gaming handheld work with OEMs. Okay? Like Microsoft's VP of Next Gen told us at CES, right? So he just kind of goes on there to kind of, at least Tom is kind of dimming it down. Like I don't know if he's learning his lesson as of this gen and being like, you know what, guys, it is what it is. Let me calm y'all down. Let me not overhype some stuff. I haven't seen stuff from him overhyping. I think he's really kind of dropped down to reality a little bit more. Is he as soft as tissue paper still? Absolutely. Regardless, I think he's making some progress, perhaps. Stay tuned on that. But Jez, of course, at the bottom, I literally wrote it was an OEM device, never mentioned it was first party, so that's a weird thing to say, which he's correct. Jez is correct in there. In the body of the article that was created, or whatever the case is, he does mention that. But the title, as you can see here down below from Joker, before reading it, the article title, Xbox's new hardware plans begin with a gaming handheld in 2025. Quote, right? That does make you believe, if we didn't just talk about this, that this could be even a first-party deal, that this is a bigger deal than what is being let on. Again, we have the hype package and videos, all 4 of them, just 4 examples quickly from Cold Eastwood himself. So you see where people get confused. You follow these shills and frauds, you're going to get confused. We continue. It does heavily imply hardware from Xbox coming this year, not an OEM model. And it does. If you don't click on articles, and let's be honest, how many folks out there are doing their due diligence, doing their fair amount of research, and looking into an article? They see a title, boom, run with it. Even when you try to share something on X, Twitter, when you try to share something there in an article and you don't click on the link, at least click on the link. It does say, hey, do you want to post this? Because you haven't opened the article or even read about it. You could do so. But at least I do like how it gives you the prompt of like, hey, dipshit, do you want to actually do some research before you just post this? Because we don't trust you is basically what that interprets its meaning into being. Anywho, I do like that. But that's the fact right there. He's not wrong. A lot of people ultimately do look at the titles. Oh, yeah, this is the win. Boom, boom. You know, and go with that. They don't care if they're wrong later on down the line. And then, of course, Jez at the bottom, partner handheld. Again, a lot of folks, and again, we're talking about casuals here, Jez, we're talking about casuals here. You must understand this. I know you understand this. A lot of casuals come by, they see the articles, or they even read the term partner handheld. I can guarantee you, I can go to a lot of my non-gamer friends, colleagues at work, whoever, casuals, non-gamers, whatever, and I tell them, hey, Xbox is coming out with a partner handheld, they're not interpreting what partner means, what that's initiated as. They don't know. So don't try to backtrack and make it seem like you're not trying to overhype or not trying to make it allude to something else. Again, people look at titles and move on, especially those casuals are going to do so. Okay? Let's take accountability here. When someone calls you out on something, don't be an ass. Actually be like, I understand, or whatever the case is. I'm not saying you have to apologize profusely or anything like that, but just acknowledge it. Don't be an ass and be like, partner handheld. I said, basically. Disingenuous, essentially, right? But anywho, we got a couple more examples here, so I do want to move that along before making this too long here. Let's go to the good one here. Now, Gaz. We haven't featured Gaz in a while because he tries to keep his foot out of his mouth the best possible way by not trying to say something stupid. So here we have something really stupid. Finally from Gaz, and he does slip up from time to time. PSSR has clearly failed. If you don't know what PSSR, it's an upscaling technique. It's an AI upscaler, all that sort of stuff. Look into it further if you want. So I don't take up 20 minutes or so of time in this video to explain, but essentially that's what it is. Now, as we continue on, now it seems Sony is essentially weaning off of it in favor of SFR4, but coming in 2026. So he's thinking that PSSR, and if you read some other articles, and I don't want to post a bunch of examples, are clearly able to be gotten at this point in time, the FSR4, which is an additional upscaler and this and that, and a better version and all that stuff, in layman's terms, right, is coming out, yes, in 2024, but many articles, including many other Sony execs and Mark Cerny himself, saying it's an evolution of it. They're not abandoning PSSR. PSSR is still very early. We're 3 months in. At the time of this recording, we are 3 months in, essentially, of PSSR. It is a new thing. It's a new thing with the PS5 Pro. It's able to do it. They're going to continue to get better, on and on and on, but they want to do more. They want to do the evolution type of this, the next step forward. That's what happens. Technology evolves. This is not them abandoning anything. And he quotes again from them, "Our target is to have something very similar to FSR4's upscaler available on PS5 Pro for 2026 titles as the next evolution of PSSR." Says it right there, for the next evolution. He doesn't know how to comprehend shit. He acts like he's smart. He's not. He's not. He sits there and calls other people low IQ and all that stuff like that. But when it comes to something so simple, when the words are right in front of your face, what are we doing here? So he goes on and just states that. How stupid do you have to be to sit there and act like you're trying to get a win? He's clawing. Again, he's now an Xbox refugee. He moved over to the Xbox side of things. He moved over there, folks. But he's still trying to haha, PS5, PlayStation sucks, this, that, and the other. Nothing but a fraud and a shill. He's trying to allude to that, right? That's all he's doing. He's grooming other frauds and shills that are pro Xbox and pro PC and all that stuff. Anything anti-PlayStation, that's what he's doing. He has a lot of new frauds and grifters coming up, and he's definitely has them under his wing. So that's unfortunate for that side of the community. But, again, it just shows how, and he's double. I'm not going to show a ton of examples. I'm not going to spend forever on this, but he has many other examples here following up. He's doubling down on this topic here, stating he's not wrong and this and that, and he's trying to twist the words. He can also not take accountability most of the time. Every once in a while he might, for the most parts, if you will, he just doesn't take accountability, and he's really doubling down on this topic. But it just shows how ignorant he is. And again, be careful who you follow and listen to, okay? Just be very careful, because even Gaz, who isn't as bad as the others, some say, he is bad. He's bad, guys. He's pretty ignorant when it comes down to it. He doesn't know. He's a brand new PC guy, all that stuff. He doesn't know a lot of things. So it's just stick to his console wars nonsense and his memes and edits, and he'll be fine. Comical. Some of his stuff is funny. Makes me laugh out loud, to be honest with you. But at the same time, it's nonsense. The grift is there, right? That's essentially what it is. And speaking of grift, let's shift on over to our final two examples here. But not that Crap Gamer's grifting anymore, but he is back and forth. But as you can see here, we do have Forza Horizon, their official account, just going on this, I would say almost a trending piece of it, right? You on Xbox and Bestie on PlayStation 5, and it has a video of two, Forza cars racing and all that. Crap Gamer is unfortunate and upset about this, saying F off. So he's obviously upset about it. If there is one thing that Crap Gamer is doing, he is holding true that he doesn't want the games everywhere. He has at least been true to that form. But again, if he was to flip over to PlayStation or anywhere else, don't believe it. As soon as Xbox finds a small W, he's going to go ahead and go right back to full-on shill mode for them no matter what. I mean, if you look at that and how upset he is at Xbox, if you go to his YouTube channel, you're going to see how doom and gloomy he is to PlayStation 5 all the time. It's a double speak. That's why I don't give him any credit. He's certainly another fraud and shill and grifter and stuff like that. So that's kind of where that comes into play here. But I won't spend too much time on there. I just wanted to share that. I thought that was pretty comical as a whole. But let's get to our final example here. And this person we haven't featured that much. I don't even like to give him that much recognition. I don't even like to talk about them because one of the ultimate shills and frauds out there, these are one of the folks that are just super delusional as well, right? But here we have somebody with a superiority complex. They have all sorts of issues wrong with them. They need that validation. If I was a psychiatrist, a therapist of some sort, I would definitely have a lot to unpack with this individual. We're talking about Cult Classic Cage, Cassie Cage here. They state good in regards to Genki here. As you can see, Digital Foundry says that this gen, it will not be possible to build a PC with equivalent or better performance than consoles for the same price. Duh. We've said this multiple times. A lot of PC Pro folks out there that are also anti-PlayStation are very upset at this news, don't agree with it, don't like it, yada yada. So again, Cassie explaining, good, we don't want console gremlins getting entry-level PC rigs. Gatekeep them out so they don't F up PC gaming culture. With the shrugging emoji. I mean, how self-hypocritical do you have to be? First of all, if we're breaking this down, you're talking about gatekeeping. You literally say gatekeep, and down in the comments and stuff, they admit to it. They don't care. It is gatekeeping. They were primarily a console user not even that long ago. So it's not like, here's my thing. If you're going to go over to PC and you're going to act all high and mighty, before you act all high and mighty and you're above it all, godlike tier stuff, at least put some years into PC gaming. Because from what I understand, this person was majorly console gaming. Mostly on PlayStation, mind you. Mostly on PlayStation. This is where you know the grift is real. They were mostly a PlayStation user and got an Xbox later. But they're mostly, you guessed it, a PlayStation hater. Anti-PlayStation brigade right here. Not too much saying about Xbox, because if you are claiming to be on Team PC, you are automatically Team Xbox. Because why? I don't know. Probably because Game Pass is also on PC, because their games are day and date. They don't like the fact that not all PlayStation games are day and date. Like I said in many, many videos ago, I did allude to this. I said, you know what? It will be interesting if there is a time, and there might be a time, guys, like I've said as well, that PlayStation games are day and date on PC. Does that narrative change? Do they all of a sudden flip and start disliking anything Xbox? Disliking their games if the quality's not there, or if the games are just better on PlayStation and they perceive that? How does that narrative change? Do they just drop everything and just love PlayStation out of nowhere because those are day and date now? So all that was just made to be this big old grift, and they knew it, I know it, we all know it. Are they going to admit that to themselves? That's the interesting part. But it's just ultimately, again, to gatekeep. The thing that they're so upset about, because PlayStation is gatekeeping, so to speak, their first-party games off of Xbox, off of Nintendo, off of PC. Most of them aren't day and date for the first party still, right? But they are okay with gatekeeping. So you see how self-hypocritical this is. And in the comments, they're like, oh, is it blah, 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 blah. You know, they try to make excuses for it. Why they're right. They're not wrong. What they're stating is not wrong. Why? because they are grifting. People are like, you don't know what grifting and shilling is. They're making money from this. They get traffic, they get super chats, they get ad revenue, they get all this stuff. They're grifting. It's not like they're telling the truth in any way, shape, or form and then garnering revenue. They are straight up lying. They're straight up shilling. The hate is there. The drama is real. So that in turn creates that sheep-like mentality. That in turn gets the traffic. That in turn gets the crowd, the audience. It's not hard to figure out. This is why I stopped interacting with them. I ignored 99.9% of the crap they do and say, if they ever say something in my comments, I'm just done anymore. I think I block them most of the time. They keep creating different accounts, whatever the case is. All this weird stuff. I tried to even make amends and reach out a couple times of being nice about stuff, and they turn around and be fake again. So I was like, you know what? I'm just done. I move on. That's my memento, so to speak. That is my, mantra, essentially, of what I'm trying to do going forward with folks like these is like, I will see your stuff come my way. I will talk about it here on this channel, Salty Batch. I'm done integrating myself into that. I am done trying to communicate, reason, debate, anything like that, because they don't want to hear that. They don't want to unpack that. They don't care. Their goal is to continue to shill and fraud and grift. That's just what they want to do. So it's a waste of my time. And I had to learn that recently, especially with these frauds and these grifters. I had to learn that and be like, you know what? This is just taking up way too much of my time. What am I debating for? This is not going to change their mind. And just like this is kind of a word of advice to y'all out there. If you want to debate with folks like this, you're not going to change their mind. You know, they're there for a reason. They know what they're doing. They're not stupid. They're not going to change anything. So just a word of advice. The less you interact with these guys, the better. And perhaps that narrative dies along with that kind of content and that kind of posting and stuff. You know, just a word of advice there. But that being said, we will wrap up the video here. Really appreciate it. Folks had some really good examples today. And again, the delusion is exceptionally real today. So I appreciate that. Enjoy everything that you are doing. I really appreciate you guys liking and commenting. That does help me out, helps out the algorithm. I also love to hear from you. If you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. And in addition to that, folks, I do want you to enjoy the rest of your day. And of course, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.